So I'm going to start with North East London. Now I've done a bit of adding up, working out for this, because otherwise it was going to be too difficult. I think there's 75 seats for London, and the way it's worked out is that London's actually entitled to about 75.5 seats, but it's got rounded down. So the average seat size in London is going to be about 74,000, up slightly on the large side. One way of doing this is to just start at one end of London and keep going. But I did try that once, and you go for a while, keeping the average about 74,000, and then you kind of the average starts to fall, and then you end up with too many voters left at the end. I've worked out if we add together Havering, Barking and Dagenham, Redbridge, Newham, Waltham Forest and Tower Hamlets, it comes to 13.9, so about 14 seats. So that seems like a reasonable unit to work with. It'd be better if it was just the Essex boroughs, so not including Tower Hamlets, but that doesn't quite work. I could, instead of using Tower Hamlets, add Enfield into the mix. I did have a look at that beforehand, and I don't think it works out really very well. So I'm going to stick to, and in the past Enfield's been suggested and then it's been unsuggested. I think Tower Hamlets is much more likely. If you put these boroughs together, they seem to work out reasonably well. Havering and Barking is 4.1, Tower Hamlets and Newham is 5 exactly, and Waltham Forest and Redbridge is 4.9. So they could just be paired. So I'll see how that works. So let me get this now onto, I turned this off, image. Okay. Now what are we looking at? Oh, now we're looking at the aren't we? So let's go to Plan Builder. Let's check this is working. Yeah, good. I'll type in London here. It's going to be northwest London. Oops. So this is using it's called Boundary Assistant Plan Builder. You can easily Google it. It's a great tool for doing this kind of thing. And I'll put on the boundaries of London here. So these are the boroughs, 32 boroughs plus the City of London. And this is northeast here. Can you see my pointy hand? Maybe I should change my pointy hand to be a bigger one when I'm doing this kind of thing, or a different colour or something. So Romford is the far northeast, Barking and Dagenham, Waltham Forest, which is Ilford, Tower Hamlets, which is West Ham and East Ham, Waltham Forest, which is Walthamstow, and Tower Hamlets, which is Bethnal Green and Poplar, places like that. So this includes the Docklands. So I'm going to start with Romford, see how we get on. Now I'll put on the current constituencies in green. So the current Romford is that, and that's fine, it seems. So although this, if I try and do Havering and Barking together, the total is 4.1, so that's it needs to be about 74.5 on average, so that's already brought the average down. We've got Hornchurch and Upminster, and that's too big. You could just about put these together with a split ward, but it'd be quite tricky to get them, because that's 72 plus 3800 is 76. That's possible. Let me look at leaving that as it is, and then this is Dagenham and Rainham. That's okay. And Barking. And that's too big. But I could have a split ward with Dagenham and Rainham. Let's put the colours down as usual, so I can see what's there underneath. I wonder, I know people aren't very keen on splitting wards, but I could see here maybe you could what's this ward called, Alibon, you could include some of that in the Dagenham seat, which might be a good idea, because as you can see here, this Alibon ward is really part of Dagenham, but it's in the Barking seat at the moment. And what ward would you split up here? You'd have to take some out of Hornchurch, so maybe some here. It's tricky, isn't it? Yeah. To choose what to do. It'd be good to keep all of Haroldwood together. So maybe this Merson Park area could be put into Rumford. So that's started off a possibility with two split wards. Then we've got Ilford. Some of these boundaries have changed slightly, so this would be Ilford or Ilford South, and that's too big. Have to take a ward out, probably this one in the corner, Cranbrook. And yeah, then Ilford South's okay. I'm not really putting the names in. Ilford South. And the blue one was Barking. The red one, Dagenham and Rainham. Dagenham for short. Oh, that's, yeah, and the grey one is Hornchurch. So I'm putting together Redbridge and Waltham Forest, trying to. So let's have a look here. 65. Yeah, now which other ward to put in there? Wanstead Park ward, or it could be this Bridge ward. It'd be nice to put Woodford back together. At the moment it's split in two, so I'll put this ward in here, that would work then. So that'll be Ilford North. There should be 5 seats here, should there? So there's going to be another one. So then this seat would be different from now. 44, 68, 6, that's okay. Okay, so we've got a Woodford together right now, a bit of Chingford's being chopped out. this bit here by the river. Oh, Woodford and Chingford, I'll leave that for now. Let's see what these. And then we'd have this one, would be Walthamstow, 52, 69. Oh, that's too big. And this would be then. Wait, that's far too small. Okay. Interesting. So yeah. It looks from this as though it's not going to work with just having Waltham Forest and Redbridge together. Because I've got to find 13,000 voters from somewhere. There's 16. So I'm going to put these in here, so we've got a seat similar to what exists now. That's a nice 72,000. Then Walthamstow, still too big, or maybe it'll work. Let's put that into the Woodford seat, the Chingford seat, that's fine. Okay, that works. Now we've got Ilford North is too small, 4,000. So in fact, maybe, in fact if we split this ward down the river, that might work. Because you need 4,000, there's 9,000 in this ward. Well, just looking at it, hard to guess how many is either side of the river. But, might be okay. Well, that would be quite a good solution, really. Because these are very good seats. You'd have, at the moment, Leabridge ward, which is really part of Leighton. Don't see much detail on here. I think that's Leighton there. That could then come into this seat, which would be good. Got most of Chingford and Woodford together. That's good. Alternatively, it looks like Ilford North could take a bit out of Ilford South, maybe chop this bit down here, west side of Valentine's Wood. That's possible. So that's 3 split wards already. Okay. And then the Hams, East Ham, that's 70. The East Ham and West Ham are quite big seats at the moment. They always were big, but they're even bigger now. So that for East Ham. West Ham, 61. That's okay. These are a bit on the small side, these 2 seats. I don't know. East, yeah, West Ham. And we'd have a Docklands seat down here. 63, 71, 75, that's quite good. I'll call that Docklands, you could call it Poplar and Canning town was suggested previously. Then there's Poplar and Limehouse. 51, 59, 69. Well, Poplar's gone now, so it has to be called something else. Like Bromley and Limehouse. Maybe call it Limehouse and Bromley, so people don't get it confused with the other Bromley. And then is there enough here? Oh yeah. I thought there's too many. Okay. And that is Bethnal Green and Bow. What can I do there? What's this? Maybe swap those two over. That works. Okay, so this area here is just Stepney, is it? Would now be in the Limehouse seat. Oh, the centre of Stepney's there, in fact. Boundaries, I guess this is a railway line, or is this the road? Might just be the road. The boundary goes down the road. I just want to have a look what it would be like if you tried to split it north-south instead. That also works. If you're a verti, but I'll put it back as it was, so that it's more like what we've got at the moment. Okay, so that's, I'll save that for now. So this is a solution for North East London with 3 split wards. So there's an increase of 1 seat here in Tower Hamlets and Newham. We've got this new Dockland seat. The same number of seats here as before in Redbridge and Waltham Forest, but slightly changed. If we split a ward, either here, Bridgewood, or Valentine's Ward. And we can also keep things more or less the same here in Havering and Barking and Dagenham, probably by splitting the Allibon and the Emerson Park wards. Now what I will do though before finishing is have a look at how it would work without splitting any wards. Now in that case, because there's too many voters in Hornchurch or Upminster, put some in, have to put this ward into Dagenham, and then take something out of Dagenham, take these 2 out probably. And put that ward in, put Allibon in. Now then Chadwell Heath. I did have a look before putting Chadwell Heath into Romford, but it didn't seem to improve things. I think that's right. I'll try again just to see whether So then you'd have to put that into Hornchurch. That works. Then you have to take another wood out of Hornchurch. Perhaps this one. Okay. Dagenham's too big, and both of these seats are too big now. So yeah, you're not going to avoid any split wards doing things that way. So let's put that there, back there. I'll take those two out again. Take Chadwell Heath out again. So now, okay. So without splitting wards, we've got this arrangement now in Havering, Barking and Dagenham, leaving Chadwell Heath to go into a Waltham Forest seat. Now it would make sense for it to go into Ilford South rather than to be connected with Hainles and Farl up there. So put these two in here. Now if you do that, it takes them out of Ilford and Ilford South. Take two wards out, I think. So 81, so I can take that ward out as well. Ilford North's now at 80, so I need to take something out of Ilford North, so I'll take Fulwell out. Wow. That makes Ilford North a bit on the small side. If I could stop, let's just see whether these fit. Now, Walthamstow. Can this work? In theory it can, looking at the numbers, but in practice I'm not sure. That doesn't help. Let's try remaking the seats. So if I go down here, that's 53, 60. So that works. So then what's this? 50, 59, 68. It's not quite, it's 270 too many. Let's try it that way. Oh yes, that works. Okay. Now, well, this has the advantage of having all these Woodford and Wanstead together in one seat, but it's not so good here in Waltham Forest, because here's the centre of Walthamstow. And so this is the main, I think this is the main shopping area. Then you've got the road up there towards the council and the gallery. So kind of split Walthamstow in two. And Chingford's also split in two. Let me just change this slightly here. That makes the numbers look a bit better there. Yeah, so I don't know, that's not brilliant, is it? But that's a solution without splitting any wards, which is not too bad. I think I prefer not to do that. I wonder if there's any other possibility here. It's tricky because you're trying to get, I think maybe if you split this ward here, what was this one? Full will. But you wouldn't really want to do that if possible, because this area all seems to hang together very nicely. I prefer to keep it together, one seat or the other. Possible. Let's try other way around. What if we put a bit of latent stone into, so where are we now? Into this seat, 68, 75, that works. So we put this cat hole area in, cat hole, can hole area in with one stitch. 60, 69, 77, oh, it's not quite. Oh, we could do that instead. Put latent stone in, take cat hole out. Now they work. So yeah, that might be, well, it's better that Singford's not split in two, that's better. Singford is the north part of Walthamstow is acceptable, I think. We've got Leighton and this is not great, this split here. Yeah, so that's a third possibility. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, so I thought, well, in the summary I'll include all three of these that I've looked at so far. I'll save that one as well. Yeah, so that's the solution for North East London without any split wards. Romford's the same as now. Upminster's lost its bottom ward, so again it's not ideal. What would you call this seat now with Upminster missing from it? The Dagenham seat's pretty good, so is the Barking seat. You've got Chadwell Heath in Ilford South, Ilford North. The seats aren't too bad, but it's just that's a shame, splitting Upminster like that. Not sure what you could do instead. Yeah. So that's the victim, if you like, of the no split ward solution. Oh, that's in Leytonstone here. Right. Anyway, so that's the 17 seats of North East London. possibly, compared with what they look like now. Changes are not, well, they're big, but they're not enormous on that last plan. Okay, so tomorrow I'll have a look at northwest London. So that's enough for now. Cheers.